Hello. I see that, Scotia Leo. I'm already so far behind in chat. Stresses me out. Can y'all hear me? Hopefully you can. And I was kind of paying attention, but I was watching, I was listening to something else and getting this ready and doing other stuff. So, hi everybody. Okay, good. I think that means that you can hear me. I'm scrolling back up to the top because I don't really have an agenda today. This is unplanned. What had happened was Sunny she had a live planned for today for 2 o'clock. And so I said that I wasn't going to do one today because I'm going to join her over there. But she got a reminder at around 10 o'clock this morning that she had a dentist appointment. So she's doing that now. Probably maybe just about done. But anyways, in about a couple hours, I guess, we're going to be going live on It's a Climbing Shame. I might try to figure out how to stream it to here. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know if it makes that big of a difference if I do it that way. Like, I don't know, but I'll try. But and the reason for that is because I am not. I have not watched the interview, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. I will not watch it on my own. I will not donate the view. But we are going to watch it over on Sunny's channel later on together. And we also have some information that, like, I don't want to spoiler alert anything, but I want everybody to know that we've had information for quite some time that we were given permission today to share. So we're going to be doing that. So I hope everybody here, whether you enjoy Sunny's coverage or not, it's about Jack and Lilly and kind of trying to shine more light on everything that's going on currently. So hopefully we'll see everybody there. And in the meantime, I'm going to say hi to everybody just so I can catch up in chat. So nobody say anything so I can catch up and we can move on. Jules 62, you didn't miss much, I think. Whatever. But thanks for being here today. Hello, True Crime Story Podcast. Well, thanks, Randy. I still don't feel comfortable calling this a show. I'm literally just here trying to work through some crap, and I'm totally using you guys to help me do that. So thank you for being here. Marie, always good to see you. I just answered the question. As for the time, first she said 5, and then she said 6, and then she said 5:30. It's just kind of how she rolls. I don't know till a few minutes before we go live. And so I don't know if we do a stream, I might get a thumbnail from her to be able to post on mine. Like, I don't know, in a couple hours ish. Randy again. My question after Nova's chat: who threatened Malaya's family and why? Was on a Facebook chat, I think. Now, was this the screenshot of the guy who said something about post all you want, I'm still coming to collect? I do have the in on that information. However, I don't remember it off the top of my head. But I know it was in regards to some text messages or an inappropriate relationship or attempted at a relationship with a minor, something like that. I will get the receipt and we will talk about it next time for sure, Randy. But I don't think it's related to the case. I don't think it's related to Jack and Lilly. Ill timing, that post was. I wonder if someone in her family has debt. I think that's a safe assumption. I think everybody in Canada has debt, to be honest with you, like I do. Timeline must go back at least 4 weeks prior to the children going missing. There. Her half-brother calls him a brother, has a debt, that's for sure. Joe something. Yes, Marie. And that is connected to the post Randy was talking about above. We will talk about it. I will dig it up for you. Didn't plan to, but I know I've got it somewhere. I will find it. If I'm not mistaken, he may be the same guy that was accused of trying to... I think you're right. That's a good starting place. He also threatened the first week. So, yeah, we're all talking about the same thing. Someone knows something. The threat, I don't think it leads anywhere. It was unrelated and it was terrible timing on the guy's part. The threat might have been legit and he might have had good reason for it, but just bad timing for the rest of us that are looking into stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was unfortunate for the guy that we found it when we did, because we all thought, ooh, what's this? But to me, I wasn't able to find anything that led to any legitimate information. One day is too long without these two beauties. 5 months is gut-wrenching. It's unbelievable. Allegedly, we had a person out here take 2 dogs until a debt was paid. Need to be brought home, yes. So next week, we're going to be hearing from the RCMP in regards to the HRD dogs. We're going to read an article that was released this morning, but that's the word on the street, you bet. Everything is relevant if it brings them home and if it raises awareness, right? It's keeping their faces out there. I know. If they can't find any evidence of them deceased in the woods, maybe they are alive. At least 4 weeks before must be looked at. Maybe. I'm sure they will have an update very soon, within a week. Are you eavesdropping on me, Scotia? I believe they will be found soon. I hope. Hi, yes, ma'am. Hope you're right, Scotia. I do too. I hope everybody's right. Randy, Switzerland. What does that mean? Is that where you are? Thanks for being here. And then everybody's saying that they can hear me. Ariel, hello. Allison, hi. And Betty, hello. And Blueberry, hi, just reporting. Nice to see you here. Debbie, hi. Shar, Sunny can help me. Really? You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. I'm just kidding. I'm sure she can. Who is messaging me? TJ, hello. Did I say hi to Allison? I think I did. And TJ, hello. Good to see you. It's about time you joined me. And where's Jack and Lily? That's why we're here. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Kraka. Who else? Rhonda. Hi. Saskatchewan. Good to see you. Just looking. I'm doing great. I appreciate that. I really do. And Crazy Town. Number 16. What does that mean? Is that your school sports number? Thanks. Cindy. Hi. Anne. Hi. Oh, Kent. Haven't you had enough of me yet today? Hi, anyway. That was you messaging me. What? What could possibly be so important that you're messaging right now? Missy, as always. I wish I didn't put that up, but thank you. We're on the same page. Yes, at least reading from the same book, almost on the same chapter, I think. I'm coming in late. No, you're not. I'm behind in chat, and I just started, so I swear to God, we're going to get t-shirts made. I'm behind in chat. I'm late. Whatever else I said we'd make t-shirts for. I'm confused. I'm in a virtual work meeting, but I'm trying to listen here. Do you want us to be quiet? Schofield, I love your sound setup. I can always hear you loud and clear. Like in real life, you have no idea how many people say that I mumble and they can't hear me, so thanks for that. It's good to have priorities. Absolutely. Work can wait. This matters. Hello, Wolf. Angry Rabbit. Always a pleasure. Do I know where A Balance is from? I sure do. Hello from Victoria. Hi there, just up the road from me. Where is Drippy? Good question. Like I saw her somewhere this morning in Nova. That's it. And she's yet to be here with me. You and Sunny has kept this case alive, and I thank you so much for your honesty and your excellent perception. Thank you so much. Yes. I didn't know if they wanted specifics, and I don't really want to out anybody if that's something that he says on this channel. I don't know, but I do know what city he's in. And Sailor Moon. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Was over to Nova Scotia doing some searching, boots on the ground. Excellent. Did you take any pictures or do you have any insight for us? That would be great. I don't know if I'm allowed to call you Liza. Am I allowed to call you Liza? No, what? Oh, number 16 on the like. Thank you. Hello, here for roll call. Is that what this is? Like, I hate it. I just, I don't have a big plan for today other than going through that. And I want to show a comment that was left on my video yesterday. And I have a question. I have questions. Charmaine sent you the CTV. I know, Kent. That was this morning. Kent. I'll buy a t-shirt. I wouldn't make anybody buy the t-shirt. I would get them made like in bulk. You might have to pay the shipping because Canada Post is on strike and it costs a lot more. Randy watched the CTV news report. Is that what you sent me? Because you sent me a link to the article this morning and you said you were going to send something, but I won't play it here anyways. Never mind. I want to piss Sunny off. I'm afraid of Sunny. Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Thank you, Romo. Is that how I say that? Johnny is from Halifax. I said Switzerland because, duh. See, duh. Thank you. She needs to be here. She meaning Sunny, or Drippy. Drippy is who you're talking about. I agree. I'm becoming offended. Carol, good to see you. I think Charmaine should time her out right away. Sunny or Drippy? Duran rocks. Where did that come from? Oh, hungry like the wolf. Gotcha. Gen X. Yeah. I think I got everybody. Oh, hi from Newfoundland. Sharon, good to see you. Thank you for being here. If we wait for Canada Post to get back, can vacuum pack shirts and not cost much. Shipping to USA now is a joke because Trump's rules and tariffs. Fair. Sunny should be frozen tonight. Dentist. That would be great. That would be hilarious. I wonder what she's getting done. Kent, did she tell us what she was getting done? I'm almost better at being an investigator than DT, in my opinion. Too many alts to keep up with. No comment. I'm glad you're on the case. Put it that way. I can't wait to see what the RCMP say about the search they just did with the HRD dogs. Probably not much, but it'll be interesting to see what direction they go next. Something's got to give soon. Couldn't believe. Yeah. Something's got to give. Can anybody believe that we're at 5 months already? 5 months. It's so sad. It's so incredibly sad. Dentists scare me. Same. Did I say hi to Lindsay? Hi, Lindsay. Are you and Kent going live tonight with Sunny? I can speak for myself. I will be on with Sunny. I don't know about Kent. It might be past his bedtime. I'm not sure. The article was this morning. The news story is what I just sent you. Gotcha. Unfortunately, I'm not. I will link it here if you want me to, but I'm not going to play it here because Sunny rules with an iron fist, and some content is spoken for. I'm just kidding. I didn't plan this live, and I want to keep up with chat, and I want to read the article. But first, I want to pull up my comments from yesterday. Can anyone, where is it? No, this one. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Go ahead, say it. We all know, but I want you to say it. Why do you say that? Can anyone confirm that there is a cemetery on Getty's, Mackenzie, and Martel's properties? So if anybody saw, and I wonder if I can pull it up. I don't think that it's on their property, but it is close by. I had a friend do a drive in the area and show us where the trailer was, where the neighbor's house was, and this was right after we heard about the 5-speed. So, but on his way to the area, there was a cemetery. So, although I don't know exactly where their land begins and ends, I can say that, yeah, there is a cemetery very close by. In late, hello everyone. Good to see you, Nurse Nancy. You can help me with my nerves. I'm not nervous. I'm worked up today, and I'm not going to talk about why, but Kent knows why, but it's been a day. It's on Matthews Road, I think about 5 kilometers maybe. It's pretty close. Has anyone ever interviewed Daniel's ex-girlfriend? No, we haven't, and she has stayed completely out of the story as much as possible. He said, I believe in my chat the other night, that her lawyer advised her to stay away and keep her kids away from Daniel and the situation until it was resolved. So I'm like 99.999% sure that Daniel said that in my chat the other night. So it's not speculation. No, but I hope it's not a root canal. I was thinking they're cleaning. Star Child, I wonder, would you have access to see if there's anything fresh there if you get what I'm saying? And I'll probably watch the DT one depending on time, sorry. Each to his own. I'm irked with DT and his mods. I wonder what would happen if you blocked the mods. Just throwing that up there. I will know why soon enough. Man, I hope you're not the person that left the comments on my video. What do you mean? What do you mean, Lindsay? How am I gonna know soon enough? Did I say hi to Finding Solace? Hi. Hi, Sue. Christy Lee being quiet, very. I don't blame her. Hi, Tammy. Smart advice from a lawyer? Absolutely. Sunny could survive a nuclear attack. She is just fine. I love you too, Roots. Thank you. Cryptic and scary. From me? I don't do cryptic and scary. Hi, Christine. All right, you guys, we need to. I'll have to rewatch the video to be sure, though. Okay, I missed something. Generally speaking, I miss a lot, but hi, Rhonda, thank you. I love that everybody comes here and tells me how much they love my channel and just working towards one goal. So before we get started on the article, let me share. Mama, I think, oh, hi, Mama. I don't think I said hi to you. And Lisa. Hi, Lisa. And Christine. I'm sorry, people. I keep missing people. So, I believe if I read correctly, the live he's doing tonight is a call-in show regarding the interview. So when we're censoring and fielding all the comments, not all, but some of the comments, how are they going to control that live call-in show? If anything, it would be amusing to watch them try. I can see you, Christina. Nobody's blocked here yet. I asked for one person to be removed yesterday, I think, just because I didn't like what they were throwing accusations where accusations don't need to be thrown. I don't even want accusations thrown in Daniel Janie Durwood's direction. I don't want any accusations, especially not completely innocent people being accused of shit with absolutely no basis in fact. I don't remember seeing you yesterday, Christina. No, but it wasn't intentional. I'm sorry. I see a wolf. I am finding out that it's really hard to keep up with chat and cover stuff, so it was nothing personal even. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Missy, don't be weird. What's this? Okay. Can you guys see that? Did I share the right one? Where am I? Where am I? I did. All right. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Oh, that's super small. But it's huge on my screen. Oh, no. See if I can make it bigger. Y'all can't see this, can you? It's already at 150%. There. That's about as big as I can do. Thank you for commenting. So many people leave such nice comments. But then I had one person, and I've never seen this person before. And it made me wonder, like, who are you? And why are you here? Margaret Ferguson. Someone picked those kids up at the end of the driveway. Okay, I asked for proof. And just keep in mind that these comments were made yesterday. I replied like a couple hours ago. So it wasn't like a conversation. So they said that, and then they turned on to, I believe Durwood is close. Once those kids are on a reserve, nothing will come out. They protect their own very close, and not one word would be spoken. Perhaps whoever had them is protecting them from being taken by CPS. If you know the culture, you would understand. And then Swessy said, Durwood isn't the police, so I called the police. I called the police and told them all about his claims. I told them about his aggression and how sure he is that he knows who has the kids. It's time for Durwood to go to the cops and come clean. Hi, Blue Jay. And then Charmaine got worked up. And I said, people who believe, as you do, also need to understand that First Nations, Native, Indigenous people are people. They are not in their own world and would not hide children, allow the police to waste time and resources for an unnecessary search for no reason. It would be a family court issue at best. So you can stay in your camp that breeds bigotry and complete ignorance at its core. And the fact that the chief of Malaya's reserve took such offense to even the mention of the theory backs up my opinion. And that is what I'm hanging my hat on. I didn't mean for it to come out this, but I was fired up for other reasons involving the case. But when I read that, I just thought, what are you even talking about? If I understood the culture, I would get it. Who is this person? And if they are First Nations, somebody needs to take her to her own chief or their own chief and have a little chit chat. Because just ridiculous. And then she went on to say, I don't think you should even be involved. And Swessie said, are you a DTer? And I said, thank you for your opinion. You're more than welcome to go someplace else. Good grief. And then I was replying to Swessie, I thought maybe Durwood or someone close to him. It's fine. I can't talk the ignorance out of some, nor do I want to. I don't want to waste my time. I mean, there's no way. But I think the biggest one that I had a problem with was I don't even think you should be involved. And I wanted to ask you guys, is this being involved in a case, going on YouTube and talking about information that's already out there? Like, does that make me involved in the investigation or involved in the case? Because I don't think so. Like, I don't have the police calling me. I don't have inside knowledge about what, Daniel and Malaya and everything is. Yeah, we get information, but that doesn't mean that I'm involved. And that seems like something that certain people would say. You know what I'm saying? So, as tempted as I was, I almost blocked the person from the channel, but I don't want to do that, because if we can reach even one person who is this ignorant, who believes that First Nations would hide children for any reason, all while allowing this search to go on for 5 months, I think they need to be educated. And like I said, if they are Indigenous, First Nations, Native, however this person wants to be addressed, they need to go have a real good chat with their own chief, their own elders, in my opinion. So, right, I'm not involved. Thank you. I didn't think so. That didn't sit well with me when you say somebody's involved in the case. That's not, no, I'm not. I'm talking about it. The counts. I welcome you, Charmaine. I am Grand Chief Member 2, Ancestral Granddaughter Mary. I appreciate that. I wish I was closer to my biological dad's side of the family. When I was 3 years old, my mom moved to Alberta, so I don't have any memories. But apparently, my grandmother was a native princess. And I believe I wish I knew. I told you guys the first, I think, Tuesday on Truth and Reconciliation Day, I explained a little bit about my background, how I could get my status if I wanted to, but I didn't think it was right to exploit my, I guess, my heritage. I wasn't raised in that culture, so you know what I mean? So, sorry. You are involved in awareness. I want to read that. And keeping real facts and respect. Thank you, Cheryl. If anybody sees this person, like, not for me, don't bring up my channel or my name or anything, but try to, I don't even want to say educate, because I don't want to feel like we're bigger or better than anybody, but try to talk to these people and let them know that no matter what they think of reservations or their conspiracies, or that they think they're completely separate, they almost think they're a completely separate, species. Like, it's bizarre the way they talk about they and them, and you'll never, it just doesn't make sense at its core. So let's just gently try to coach them in the right direction when we see shit like that. It's just ignorant to me and to most people, I would think. You're gonna die on that mountain, are you? That's all right. I'm not gonna fight you for it. You can have your mountain, and if they're alive and if they're being hidden, I guarantee you it's not being hidden by a reservation. Yes, ma'am. I guarantee you that. I will bet you money that they're not being hidden on a reservation. If they are alive, I will say that it's not probable, but it's possible. It's possible that they're being hidden somewhere alive and well, and people just are allowing this to go on. I will give you it's possible, but it's not going on a reserve. I mean, fighting on this hill, they are not hidden in a reserve. That was backwards. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They're not on a reserve, you guys. And I'm glad we're all on the same page. And if you believe that, all the power to you. I'm not here to make fun of you, but I'm just saying it's ignorance that brought us to this place where we're talking about a community that has fought a long time for respect and to be, to be taken seriously. And we're accusing them of something like this, something as ridiculous as this, to me, is laced in bigotry and ignorance. So, hi, Travis. You want a possible? Not probable. Anything is possible at this point, but it's so not. And not about the reserve, not about the reserve. I will bet money that that is impossible, that First Nations communities are hiding these kids. It's just not, that's not the way they are. They have no, they could only get in serious trouble by doing so, and they don't want that. They would never do that. They're a community. They're not a gang. Like, Jesus, no. What did you ask? They're called reserves, right? Correct. Correct. Respectfully, we refer to them as the res, but they also refer to them as the res, so I don't think that that's disrespectful. Sailor, I can't lie, I truly think those babies are alive. Don't come for me, chat. It's good to have hope. I'm on board with anybody that has hope. Sonny doesn't even know what time Sonny's live is, JB. Couple hours. I say, welcome back. You won't be. Timed out on her channel? I shouldn't say because she blocks a lot of people over there, but I don't think there's any reason to. I still feel that what happened was on May 1st. And it's the belief of a lot of people. I live in reality and not a soul has seen or heard from them. Star Child, I need a nap. Same. I never seen that name in another chat. I know. That's why I was wondering if it was probably a temporary fake profile to be able to post something as ignorant as that. I've been noticing the discrimination and stereotyping people have taken towards natives in murdered and missing cases. Absolutely. Absolutely. And why do we think there are hundreds of missing and murdered Indigenous people throughout the country? There's absolutely no logic behind hiding Jack and Lilly. Remember, we have our own child and family services. They would protect them if required, but they wouldn't hide them. Thank you, Star Child. Thank you. And yes, she knows what she's talking about. I love it when Shar and Travis have a conversation. I learned so much from these two. But so many people have multiple profiles. Yes, thank you. Captain Obvious is in the house. Kidding, Ken. All right, so can someone explain why First Nations tribe in May, per CBC, indicated that Jack and Lilly were tribal members? What was legal or other significance of that? I believe, and I have, just like nobody, including Daniel, has no proof as to whether or not Jack and Lilly were granted their status. If they were granted their status, it happened after they went missing. So the legal or other significance of that, if you take away the fact that they were missing, it just opens them up to having more resources and benefits from the reserve itself. So the mother of the kids would be able to get counseling or any kind of services that she needed for the kids, and maybe possibly, and I mean, I don't know how they deal with missing kids on a reserve, but there's a certain aspect to First Nations CPS system that is a lot harder to they fight harder to keep kids with their parents, and I think that stems from Truth and Reconciliation. That stems from the residential schools trying to keep things in-house, so to speak. I think that was it. However, I have heard from very reliable sources that the kids were not granted status after they went missing. From my understanding, that if they are found alive, then yeah, they will be, but they do not currently have their status. I trust my source, but I can't say it for sure, right? If that makes sense. I'm mocking you, Kent. Just to be clear, I'm mocking you. I missed that comment. I did get some locals contacts and see if they can go check those graveyards. Conversation between yourselves, I take it. My question is, why is the children's status a concern of anyone's? So when I had my conversation with Daniel way back when, that was one of the things that Daniel told me that he found suspicious. And that's how, well, the entire conversation went a certain direction. And he believed at that time that Malea's mom had convinced her to leave and believed that she had something to do with hiding the kids to get Malaya away from him. So Daniel had said, you tell me if this is weird or not. Jack and Lilly were granted status after they went missing, but Meadow still hasn't been granted status. So that was one of the comments that Daniel made to me. And when we shared the information with Daniel's permission, that part kind of grew legs of its own, and people ran with it as being fact. But we have come to find out that there are things that he was straight up wrong about or was inconsistent about. So we don't know. So digging in, and other people that are local digging in, they don't have proof that the kids were granted status. In fact, one person who was a part of that First Nations community said no, they did not. But like I said, I've never seen anything official to say whether yes or no they do or not. That was what the CBC article seemed to indicate. Yeah. So, yes. And Chief Glasgow is not commenting either way on it. She literally doesn't. She doesn't think the reservation or the community has anything to do with the disappearance. So she's not going to comment on, and she hasn't commented on anything involving the case, including whether or not the kids were granted status. But like I said, because Daniel said it and it was early on, people believed it, and mainstream media published it. It is what it is. And once they saw it in my conversation with him, they started talking to him about that, and he was giving the same information to everybody at the time, right? So doesn't make it true. If Daniel said it at the time, I believe everybody believed him. That's my opinion. They're a community who has been fighting for recognition. They wouldn't hide those babies. Absolutely. Where's Star Child? There she is. Because of decentralizations, First Nations are wards of the federal government, and any on-reserve services and resources do not expand outside the reserve jurisdiction. We won't put that in layman's terms for those of us simple folk. So as much as Malaya loves Meadow, she would not hide Jack and Lilly and risk losing Meadow. I think Dee did something, and if M tells it, she would be in trouble for allowing it and not coming forward. Maybe. Star Child, thank you for sharing. Love it. We all need to be more informed. You're beautiful. Agree. Kent, but what case does Indigenous CPS want to have? Meadow. The thing that's in the court right now is trying to decide who is going to handle Meadow's custody. Is it going to be the First Nations CPS, or is it going to be the provincial CPS? This article had nothing to do with where the children were located, just they had status. I will find it. No, I believe you. I'm just telling you where the information came from. It came from Daniel. Okay, hypothetically, who cares enough about Malaya to care and feed and hide her children for 5 months, knowing they would go to jail for it? I'm seriously wondering who would do that. Right, and why Malaya would allow it to keep going when she cannot see, hear, or talk to her children. She would have zero contact. For what purpose? Who's she protecting them from? She already lost Meadow. First Nations bands don't offer stat to deceased people. That is outrageous thinking. Right, but I mean, the kids have not been determined to be deceased. Yes, ma'am, they are fighting jurisdiction in Meadow's case, and I would imagine Jack and Lily's when they find out what happened, if they're alive. If it came from Daniel, how would he know? He isn't their father. Rumors and speculation is my best guess. Belinda, hi. Kent, were you referring to Lily and Jack and the court case taking place now? No, he was referring to Meadow. Daniel isn't the authority on First Nations policies and membership codes. Goes without saying, I think. Malaya likely reached out to her First Nations family and community because we do have resources she would have access to as a band member of a First Nations community. No, Belinda, they won't, yeah. I already answered that, Ken, thanks. Everybody's saying hi to Belinda. Catowell. Good to see you. Haven't seen you ever before. Way to go, Charmaine. Thank you. Yay, I have no idea what you're talking about, but yay, me. Oh, me. But the Micmac Family Services would not have jurisdiction off reserve. So Malaya lived off reserve. Therefore, it would be provincial CPS leading their own case. Exactly. Which, hence why I think Malaya took off to the reservation where she lives now. And now those two agencies are fighting over that particular case, right? Who's going to handle it? Because from what I understand, even though it is the mandate of provincial CPS also to try to keep families together at, at all costs really, but they do their best to keep families together. It's my understanding that First Nations CPS, that's their first mandate, right? They want to keep families united more so. And I don't want to talk too much about it, so I don't know enough, and anything that I say will come out rude, so. No, that's what we're talking about. It's not officially confirmed, no. Kent, case was started off res, so the case was already in play. This was a quote from CBC on May 6th. The chief of, I think we call it Subi, First Nation, one of Nova Scotia's largest communities, issued a statement saying the children are part of their community. Yes, because mom is part of their community, but granted status is a different thing. They're not fighting over Meadow case. They're fighting over general jurisdiction. That's what I mean. Jurisdiction over, yeah. I mean, that's, but I think nothing is moving forward in Meadow's case until that's decided. I think that's what Kent was getting at. If Malaya went to her band's Micmac Family Services, they would advocate, provide her with supports, and gain access to the provincial CPS files to best support Malaya, if requested. So maybe bad reporting by CBC or misunderstanding by CBC. I would think more of a misunderstanding by CBC, because nobody has come out and confirmed that the kids have status. However, I don't know, once Malaya moves to the reservation, don't her kids automatically become part of that? Like, I don't know. I would have to have somebody on who's like somebody higher up in a First Nations community that would know. Did I hear Dee say in the latest interview with DT that Jack was getting violent? No clue. Didn't watch it. Micmac Family Services would not have the authority to remove any children from a home off reserve. Yeah, but Malaya moved to the reserve, and that's when Meadow was taken. But I think she was taken by provincial. I could be wrong. Because the order stated that she had to be living at her mother Cindy's, who does not live on a reservation. And she took the child off and went to a reservation. So that's what I was saying. It could be because they're minor, they're small children, because the mother is part of the community, the kids would automatically be if the mom lived there. That's quite possible. I don't know them. Malaya may be talking to the right people. Dee's telling of the complaints raised indicates maybe regarding that, for the record, there are many ways you can say have a nice day with different connotations. Malaya putting 2 complaints into the RCMP of Daniel parking beside her and approaching to give her mail speaks volumes to me. Was there proof of that or just discussion on that channel? I don't know. Didn't watch it. We cannot forget how the scoop has affected relations with family services. Now I got it. My misinterpretation over part of our community and statutes. Hey, Seawood. Still on. I just started, didn't I? Almost an hour in already, you guys. That's okay. It's all right. We're good. Told you. You pay attention. He will teach you how to be a lawyer and you won't even know it. This one day you'll know shit. Just pay attention. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Yeah, status right. Randy, I think she was still in Malaya's custody. Just Malaya had to be under supervision of her mother. Meadows' custody case won't go nowhere till we have the jurisdiction of who's going to decide, who's going to manage the case. Because now Mom lives on the reservation. So, Provincial CPS already had an open file for Jack and Lilly and likely Meadow, so they would fall under Provincial CPS. That's who was in care and control of that case. But my point is, possibly up until Mom moved on to the reservation, which could be why Mom moved on to the reservation. I mean, really, it's probably the simplest answer. Occam's razor, you guys. It's probably the simplest answer is the right answer when it comes to where Malaya is, status for the kids, part of the community, and all this stuff. It's probably my speculation is that it's probably the simplest answer with that part of it. Not so much with Jack and Lilly, but that part of it. I don't think it's as convoluted as we seem to think it is. Charmaine, however, Malaya didn't have a home on res when she fled with Meadow. She just ran. The question is why, when she knew she would lose Meadow. I posed the question the other night. 2 questions. What made her leave the property so abruptly on Saturday? And then what made her leave her mother's so abruptly, knowing that she was under a CPS supervision order to be at her mother's with Meadow? What could have caused her to do that? Nobody knows what's in Malaya's mind. Nobody knows. But I mean, maybe possibly she was just taking the kid to see her dad. It could be something innocent like that. Maybe a misunderstanding in how she interpreted that order. I don't know. Maybe she's among the community that believes that the reservation are going to protect and can protect people or moms who are breaking the law or breaking orders from provincial authorities. Maybe. Okay. Who knows? Who knows? But I do know that she is sick and tired of the bullshit stories that are going around about the kids being hidden on a reservation. So, Daniel said last night on DT's video, Charmaine, don't watch it, that Jack and Lilly were getting rough at school. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to be there when Sunny plays it, but I have no intention of watching it. But I'm just going to say this. Children, generally speaking, are not violent by nature. It's learned behavior. Just going to leave that out there. So if that's true, if Daniel actually said that, where did they learn it from? Share, you mean Shar. I missed your answer to my question. Sorry, I don't watch DT. Hey, good for you. But Mike DeMann was playing it and thought D and said Jack was getting violent. Gotcha. Charmaine, did Cindy have interim custody of Meadow? No. She had, Malaya is Meadow's mother. But they were allowed to keep Meadow in the home as long as it was under supervision, the supervision of Cindy. And for those people out there that are saying, well, Cindy had a case file with CPS too, you don't think CPS knows that? I don't think that it was it was either archived or way far behind, or mind-blowing scenario here that somebody called CPS on Cindy back in the day. Cindy was made aware of the issue, and Cindy worked with them, worked through the issue, and then the case was closed, and she didn't have any further issues with CPS. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that's hard for some people to grasp, that if there's a problem and somebody calls CPS, maybe you should look inward and make sure your kids are okay. And if you realize that there's a problem, then you work with the system to fix the problem so that your kids are taken care of and are safe. Call me crazy, but if you can't be a good fucking parent and somebody points it out to you and calls CPS, maybe it's time to do things differently. That doesn't include running away with your baby. I think I've gotten a little bit judgmental today, and I don't want to do that. This is Kent's fault. He worked me up earlier. Has there been any official or other credible update on HRD dog searches? They are coming out. We're going to read a little article, but the RCMP is set to give an update next week. Yeah, there's no set date or time yet, but it's possible, but it's risky. It's risky. CPS gave her that choice to keep Meadow with her at her mother's house because she chose to go to Cindy's house. I'm going with my mom. So CPS said, okay, you can keep Meadow with you at your mom's, but only under supervision. And that order would have had, it would have had details, what she had to abide by. She made the choice to leave, and now she's lost Meadow. So trying not to be judgmental, but I am. Today's that day. Guess it's a good thing I'm doing my actual live with Sunny. Margaret Ferguson has been on YouTube since January 11th, 2024. Look at you go, Roots, being all sleuthy and stuff. Might be in so much trauma beyond our comprehension, even, in my opinion. I'm wondering now if Malaya is being closely watched in the case. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Just like Daniel's being closely watched in the case. Absolutely. Exactly, Charmaine. Micmac Family Services are likely involvement now if Malaya went to them for support. Damn, I'm getting tired of being right. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Please don't run with that. I was kidding. Apparently, according to Durwood, it was him who scared her into running. In a roundabout way, yeah, he said that he was talking to somebody so that somebody could purposely eavesdrop, that he knew was going to call Malaya right away. And then it kind of backfired because they did call Malaya right away, and Malaya grabbed the baby and ran. So, in a roundabout way, you're not wrong. Are you referring to Clutch Stem Pearls as a good place to watch? I mean, it depends, I think, on your personal opinions. I like Justin. I do. I had interim custody of my grandson 21 years ago. His mother could not take him. She could come and see him, but never alone. Okay. But as I understand it, it wasn't like that. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Guardianship. Obtaining your status card is based on your tribe. Some will go 6 generations, some 4. So if M had her card, her children may be granted theirs. Right. And like mine went back 6 generations. And I only know that because one of my sisters is like, yeah, you should do this. And I was like, I don't need to. What would spook her enough to make her run? Risk losing Meadow? That's the $1,000,000 question, in my opinion, when we're talking about Malaya's side of things. What is going on in her head? What is going on in her head? If she thinks that, I don't know, I don't know. Thank you for answering my question to Shar. I really appreciate it. I thought he said that it's learned violence from Daniel, in my opinion, if it's true. I mean, if not from Daniel, from somewhere, because he learned it somewhere. Seawood, yes, that's what I heard. I was shocked by this, but Daniel isn't very honest. And I mean, let's talk about that for just a half a second. So how come anytime Daniel says something that people can, that makes himself look badly, we believe it immediately. But all the other shit we don't believe. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are we so willing to believe all the bad stuff that doesn't look so good for Daniel, that he says himself? But everything else, we're like, he's so full of shit. You know what I mean? How's that for unbiased? I think I deserve a hell yeah, way to go, Charmaine. I feel like it's a two-way street. So either take everything with a bucket of salt, or think anything that he says is possible. To me, to be fair, it's got to be one or the other. I'm certainly not picking the latter, but I'm just throwing that out there. And no judgment if you don't want to. Like, I don't blame. He said that Jack was getting physical and Lilly would sometimes pull her hair out. Why? Everything is Ken's fault. Thank you, Missy. We'll make t-shirts. I agree, it's a learned behavior. Actually, I think the only t-shirt I'm going to make is one that says, I'm going to get us t-shirts or something like that. I agree, it's learned behavior and lack of parenting to help children learn to channel their emotions properly. Right. And I talked a little bit about my own grandson the other day, and sometimes it is a chemical imbalance that can cause outbursts, and when they can't regulate their emotions. Sometimes it's not about neglect, because my daughter is anything but neglectful. If anything, she's too much. But it's about, like I said, it's about structure, it's about treatment, it's about diet, it's about schedule, it's about education on the kid's part and the parents' part. It's figuring out what's wrong and how to best treat it, right? But if they start to get violent at age 4 and start to pull their hair out at age 6, and there was nothing like that before, I would question, was there anything, any behavior that led up to that? Or that just wasn't, there was no intervention there? No. Or is it learned behavior? I don't know. There are requirements that must be met before a child or children are returned to the parents or guardians, like a fit home. Weird. If Malaya did not have a permanent residence, she wouldn't meet that requirement. Oh goodness, you're going to have a hard time trying to not snap if you're already in a mood today. I know. think it was Scotia Leah told me to have like 3 cigarettes. I think I might have a few Caesars first, Travis. Just trying to keep my cool. That's all. I'm trying to stay away from things that piss me off lately. Zen. And that's why that won't be airing on this channel. Because I think if there's anywhere that is appropriate for me to lose my shit, it's on Sunny's channel. She welcomes it. So. Is that a fact? Is that true? No, it's hilarious. I was muted that whole time. You're lucky because I was going off on Kent. I was going off on Kent. I wasn't chatting away happily. I was saying some shit. So probably for the best. What I was saying was that I've never heard Cindy's voice. I've never heard Cindy in an emotional state. I've never heard anything really from Cindy other than what we were told by Daniel and maybe some of what Malaya said when she was a teenager. To judge, I have no idea what she stands for or anything like that. I don't know what's going on here, but say hi to everybody.
Hey.
Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Say hi.
Are you on the live still?
Yes, say hi.
Oh, you want me to say hi?
Like
on the live?
Yeah, like I don't know if they can hear my phone, but yeah, they can hear you. Hi.
Oh. Well, hi everyone. I didn't know I was on the live.
Yeah. So they're all asking what time you're going live, and I said that I'll find out about 5 minutes before you go. So if you can.
I said 6:30, 6:30.
Oh, 6:30. So like an hour and 45 minutes, guys.
Yeah, I'm just getting my thumbnail ready and I just need to get stuff ready. So yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
Make sure you don't forget. Did you already say it's anniversary for Jack-5?
Yeah, we're just gonna read the article. I'm gonna save the news clip for you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Love you.
Okay, talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So you heard it there first. 6:30, which is, so it's 4:45 right now here. So 2 hours. So that's not too bad, Sue. That's not too bad. Well, Charmaine, prepare yourself. Daniel is spinning a good narrative in his interview. I have absolutely no doubt that he is. Absolutely no doubt that he is. Scary for me to listen to it, but I'm doing it. So I'm not going to go back up and do that chat thing again because I muted myself because I have a little catch in my throat today, so I'm coughing. How do I get rid of this? I'm going to do that. And big again. Share. I mean, the whole muted thing that had to happen eventually, right? It happens to Sunny all the time. Don't care. Chrome tab? No. This one. This one. This one. There we go. You guys seen this yet? You need some coffee when you're on a live? I don't drink coffee ever for any reason. Tea, once in a while, green tea, preferably. Sometimes a hot chocolate, but I like my cold drinks, my Starbucks, my refreshers. So good. Or extra big size Diet Coke from McDonald's. This stuff has something in it. They put something in this. It's addictive. But only the McDonald's fountain drink. Ready? 820 tips received in the last 5 months since Sullivan children were reported missing. Sorry, I noticed a name I hadn't seen before. Curious as hell. Welcome. Did she leave Cindy's because of the treatment she received from Cindy's boyfriend? He sounded like he had absolutely no use for her and wasn't willing to help her. I don't know. And I mean, we don't really have a lot of room to talk because we don't know Wade personally. But what we have heard is Wade is unemployed and does depend on Cindy for his lodging, I guess. I mean, they are a couple, but from my understanding, he's not. He doesn't work, so I don't know that there's a lot of help that he could offer her in that way. But we don't know him, so it's possible. He did sound very suspicious of her, Daniel, Janie, and her entire family. Definitely. I don't mean to be. Of course, it had to happen, and it does indeed happen to Sunny. Thank you. You know, it's strange. I'm not even embarrassed about it. I'm more like, I feel bad for you guys to have to sit there and watch me fake talk because, I mean, actually, I wasn't saying anything. I knew I was muted, so I was testing you. Or could it be that Cindy and Wade were asking too many questions? Or could it be that Cindy and Wade were on to something? I truly don't think it had anything to do with Durwood. No offense, Durwood. Look at my face. No offense, Durwood. But I don't think you scared Malaya away. I have never seen them in any chats I've been on, but maybe it was a name I didn't read because I tend to watch the comments of regulars from the beginning. Yeah. And I mean, how possible is that every single one of them is online? We could be talking with them right now. We would have no idea. No idea. We do know that Malaya watches the online content. We know that, like, her friends do. We know. We certainly know that Daniel watches and Janie watches. And I even know that Earl sees some of it. And, you know, like, they could be anyone. Anybody could be anybody they want to on the internet. That's why I'm so suspicious of people. Donnie, you're behind. There's sound now. She probably can't hear me because she's behind. Somebody tell her, please. Otherwise, she's going to be sitting there for 5 minutes going, what the fuck? This is such a lame live because I've never seen. Oh, yeah, I think Donna's been here before, but somebody tell her. Sorry. I'm testing even the replay people. Anyway, can we move on, please? Stay focused. It's been exactly 5 months since 2 Nova Scotia children went missing. 4-year-old Jack and 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan were reported missing on May 2nd from their home on Gerlach Road in Lansdowne Station. Searches stretched on for weeks in the densely forested area near their home, but there has been no sign of the two. This remains a highly active and intensive missing persons investigation, said an RCMP spokesperson Thursday in an email to CTV News Atlantic. Last month, the RCMP announced that cadaver dogs would begin searching for the two children. They're actually human remains detection dogs. And I believe they use the term cadaver dog still because it's more familiar to the average reader. So, as of Thursday, the spokesperson said police anticipate providing an update on the work of the human remains detection dogs next week. We're unable to confirm the dates, times, or locations of the searches, said the spokesperson. CTV public safety analyst Chris Lewis said there could be multiple reasons why cadaver dogs are being brought in. Either they're acting on just another attempt to find the kids, or they're acting on some information that they have, he said. I think you get your Captain Obvious badge replaced, Kent. It's in a written article now, whoever this person is. Police previously stressed that there was nothing definitive to support the children are deceased. Lewis, who is the former commissioner of the Ontario Provincial Police, said this has been a serious and tragic investigation. I think the RCMP are throwing a lot of experts and a lot of resources at it, he said. In the meantime, it certainly doesn't look good for these poor children, but at some point, I'm sure we'll know what happened in some way or another. Lewis said he has been watching this case closely. Just because there's no press conference, it doesn't mean there's no boots on the ground, and I know they brought in resources from other provinces. They're doing everything they can, but they need tips, and they need the public's help in some way because somebody out there knows something that they're not saying. So then why aren't the parents asking for public's help? Why aren't we being asked by the parents to keep our eyes out or to, you know what I mean? Baubles and dolls, because she said so. Maybe you didn't see Sunny's live where she was messaging back and forth with Malaya, but she was well aware of everything that was going on online. So I apologize. I thought everybody that was following this case knew that Sunny had a conversation with Malaya and had permission to share. So, hi, Skate Painter. The investigation so far, to date, RCMP said investigators have received more than 820 tips, all of which are being carefully assessed and followed up on. Police also noted investigators have reviewed all viable video files collected during the canvass of Lansdowne Station and the surrounding areas, conducted 80 formal interviews, and continue to pursue forensic analysis. Our team remains fully committed to utilizing every available resource to move this investigation forward and determine the circumstances of Lilly and Jack's disappearance, said the spokesperson. Police have already conducted multiple searches covering about 8.5 square kilometers in the heavily wooded areas near the children's home, assisted by ground search teams and local volunteers. Court documents released in late August shows the initial impressions by police of polygraphs given to the parents of Lilly and Jack and suggest investigators do not think the children's disappearances involved foul play. The information contained in court applications filed by investigators for permission to conduct searches for phone records, banking records, and video related to the case. The document said the last time the children were seen outside their home was on May 1st when they were captured by video surveillance at a local Dollarama store with their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, and their stepfather, Daniel Martel. And that's it. That is the article. I'm not so sure about having my name out there. Not everyone is sane. Shar knows I am. I would rather vouch for real. Somebody questioning you? Who is questioning Sky Painter? Trust me. And what are we questioning about her? Don't be sketched out by Sky Painter. She's a real person, and she's heavy duty, hardcore good person. She's the one that got that bench cross country, guys. This is the person. That's the one. That's the guy. Tell her. Thank you. She's great. We will find out about Jack and Lilly after court battle for Meadow. There's going to be questions on Jack and Lilly. I personally can't wait for the temporary guardianship hearing for Jack and Lilly that Belinda is bringing. Myself. This is about the missing kids, and I think more relevant questions will come out, or answers will come out as part of that hearing. Just my opinion. I have the Nova Scotia ME study and report on an HRD dog program referenced in the presser and the peer-reviewed article it relied upon. We should go over them another day. Yes, I do have a couple of things I got to do before I go live with Sunny later, but I mean, I'm on board after. So the next time I go live, you guys, and this one's gonna hurt. It's gonna be super, super hard to keep it, whiteboard cleaned, but we're gonna go through the screenshots. We're gonna do it. We're getting neck deep next time. Just heads up. Bye, Missy. Okay, was that at the beginning of? No, the conversation with Malaya. Like, it wasn't at the beginning. It wasn't like recent. It was what, guys? Maybe like 6 weeks ago or so. Time is flying in this case. I cannot believe it's been 5 months, but it definitely wasn't in the beginning, and it took a lot of trust building, I guess. And it wasn't a long conversation, and she did make it clear that she would not be answering any more questions after that. But yeah, it happened. And I mean, I will go over the conversation here when we get to it, but it happened. Absolutely. The res is too small to hide kids. Also, the houses are very close together, so not on a res, in my opinion. I think that the people who believe that think that the entire community knows that the kids are there. They're just not saying anything. It sounds terrible, but like, what are they thinking? Book waiting. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like that. Of course, they're all watching, but still not asking for help 5 months later. Something is very wrong with that, unless they know what happened. I agree. Nothing. No questions. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I was trying to defend you because you were like, I don't want, whatever. It is what it is. I just called you out, though. A Sky Painter shipped that bench all the way across the country. Superhero right there. I guess they expect the RCMP and MCU divisions to help them more so than the general public. That's what I'm hoping anyways. And not that they just don't care. I cannot believe that they don't care. I don't. I know that Daniel is doing exactly what Daniel told me he was going to do at the beginning. Daniel told me anytime the case slowed down in the public, he was going to leak information to give it legs again, to get it rolling again. And he is doing exactly what he told me he had planned to do. So kudos to him for that. It's just a shame that he will not clear up the inconsistencies and the weird stuff that's been going on that we are going to bring to light. We're going to bring it up again. We're going to do it in a non-threatening way so that he can see that I'm not trying to catch him in shit. I simply want him to understand that these inconsistencies matter And by clearing them up, could help clear his name. And they finally finished viewing all video footage. Where does it say that? That Layla, 25, accused me of being friends with Daniel? Are you? Even if you are, I don't care. Kent is friends with Durwood. I still allow him in my life. Just kidding. Durwood, I'm kidding. Take a joke. Calm down. Layla, she's been in my chat. I mean, I don't care, but she has accused me and Sunny of being like the mean girls. So, whatever. Or a trauma bonding party. Or I'm too sensitive. Oh, Layla is settled off. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Working on it, Shar. That's good. We are here for it. Anything you need. I am actually, you know what? We're Jack and Lily's voices, absolutely, but we are also Belinda's army. I know it wasn't appropriate for Jack and Lily, but it's appropriate for what you're doing. And I am on board. It says right at the final statement coming up. What are you talking about, Kent? Travis, are you talking about the court documents? Yes, Charmaine or Sunny consent. I did send them to you, Travis, weeks ago. I emailed them to you. No, the presser. Thank you. As for guardianship hearings, public was asking that too. Yes, they are. And Belinda, actually, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Belinda, but I believe Delene is going to apply to ensure that it is public, because by default, it's public. Are they? This is different though, Kent, because yes, we're dealing with minors, but these minors are currently missing. And no foul play is suspected. So the court has no reason to keep it private. This is about temporary guardianship of two missing children, and lawyer thinks that we've got a really good chance of keeping it public. Thank you. I've been wanting to go over it again and list the inconsistencies. Have you? Because I am dreading it, but we got to do it. We got to do it. It needs to be done. I would like Daniel to explain why the children's money stopped. Which government money going to the children or child support? Because we know Cody lost his job. So I assume you're referring to their government money. There's not a lot of things that would happen that would cause a mother to lose her child tax benefit. I don't know if she filed her taxes as First Nations or treaty. I know that there are different rules with that, but I think the only way that you lose, like I lost my, get this, for my youngest daughter, I lost my child tax benefit way back when because I didn't have a reason to go to court to get full custody of my daughter because I moved 6.5 hours away from my ex-husband, and he had supervised visitation. So I was under no obligation to take my child to him. He had to have his parents bring him up to visit her under supervision. So I didn't have any reason to need full custody, like court-ordered custody, because I had it. But child tax, he applied for child tax one year, and they said you need to have custody to qualify for child tax. And they made me pay like $5,000 back. Crazy. But Yes, Charmaine. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to make it public. Belinda, can you share any updates about the temporary guardianship case, or are you and Deline still in the building stage? Waiting on a court date. Government money. Yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot of things that can, make a mom lose her child tax benefit. I'm sure fraud would be one of the reasons. If you don't file your income tax for like a year and like 15 months, I think it is, then your payments are delayed, but all you have to do is file your income tax and then boom, you get back pay. So I don't think that's it either. Even if she was claiming single and then somebody told them Daniel was her common law, that still isn't enough to lose her child tax benefit because it's not for her, it's for her children, right? That's one of the closest thing that we have to an untouchable income for mothers, unless you make more money. Like I don't know what the threshold is anymore, but yeah. For sure, crimes have been committed, and that might explain why so shifty. Tells me they know what happened and covering for themselves, not putting the children first. I mean, we don't know for sure, but like I keep saying, the only way that there isn't a criminal element to this case is if the kids indeed walked into the woods and succumbed to the elements. That is the only way that there is no criminal involvement here. And we know the RCMP do not believe the kids went into the woods. So it's fair to assume then that it is still a missing persons investigation simply because, number one, they don't have evidence to point otherwise right now. And number two, it's easier under the Missing Children's Act to get access to things like search warrants and other things that need to be done in a missing persons investigation. So, my opinion only. So I'm super glad that chat, I think, has stopped. What evidence says they didn't go into the woods, though? I don't know. I wasn't boots on the ground. I have no idea. I have no idea. But how do they say that? I don't know. I don't know. How do they say that there was no abduction? There's no evidence of an abduction, where their very theory relies on there being an abduction. It doesn't matter who took the kids off the property. If anybody comes in and takes kids that are not their own off the property, that's abduction. Might be family, might be non-family, stranger, non-custodial, custodial. There's all different kinds of abduction, but it's still abduction. And they've ruled out abduction. So it's very confusing, Julia. I'm with you. I'm with you. But I mean, rest assured, and I think we can all agree that the RCMP know a lot more than we do. A lot more than we do. Good question. I will dig it up, but I believe it was in a article or statement. Yeah. I mean, it's somewhere, but I will show you. A familiar abduction is a thing. There are many, many different. It's actually a non-family abduction. So there's a difference between a non-family abduction and a stranger abduction. Non-family is like um, somebody known to the family, known to the kids. You know what I mean? That's a non-family abduction. Yeah, it's somewhere, and I will find it for you, Travis. I will find it. I have receipts, and that's why I get so worked up when people are focusing and spreading information that is false or is based on half truths. I usually have a reason for getting upset. I'm usually not unreasonable. So the only viable evidence you typically get from HRD dogs is the remains themselves, right? And I think that if that had happened, you guys, we definitely would have heard about it. So yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up that they found anything concrete with the HRD dogs. So, but it is what it is. We asked, we begged, we bitched, we complained, and they didn't do it for us, but they did it. So it's one more thing we can check off the list. Yeah. We'll keep looking, and let's keep Jack and Lily in the front of our minds and, in our hearts, and keep looking and keep raising awareness. And we'll keep doing what we're doing. And I'll see y'all in Sunny's chat in probably about an hour-ish. And until next time, I'm going to go. Remember, put your waders on next time because we're getting deep in that mud. One sec, I got two more. You guys need to stop because I don't like leaving anything unanswered. Wade and Cindy left Malia alone with Meadow. CPS were made aware of that. That's why she left with Meadow. She thought she would be safe on reservation. That makes sense. Because I heard Cindy was at work and Wade was supposed to be there, and then Wade left. And maybe she thought she was going to get in so much trouble, she just took off and went to the reserve thinking she would be protected there. And that backfired, didn't it? Excellent information. Thank you. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Have a great night. See you at Sunny's. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Yeah, hit the like on the way out if you want. Bye.